Hey Leo, it's Empress Rose and welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so take what works, leave what doesn't. And if you'd like a personal reading, please contact me in the email below, empressrose1111@gmail. What else I want to tell you? All these cards are pre-shuffled. All right, we're going to start with an intuitive vibe with our Oracle Mystical Moments deck. I have recently discovered that the reason why I don't shuffle and talk is because I can't. So that's why they're pre-shuffled, because I cannot do it while I'm talking. I can do this while we wait. All right, Leo. What's our message? What does Leo need to hear this week? Leo needs to hear half the deck. Oh my gosh. What's Leo need to hear? We've got one card. We just need one more. Oh, this is sweet. Cancer just got this card. Here's Flower Spirit. This is a deep connection with somebody. This might be feeling protected, understanding that you are deeply loved, and you're protected. This is sort of an angel vibe. I mean, this is like oftentimes two companions. But this is the flower spirit, and the flower spirit is here with the flower, helping the flower grow. So you could be either the flower that's growing and you know that you have this deeply loving support around you, whether you can see it or not, seen or unseen. You might also be a mentor to other people, bringing love to their life and helping them grow. You can be both. All right, and then we have stranded. So you're kind of in a situation and you're not 100% sure how you got there and you have no idea how to get out. So is this saying that you are protected, you are loved, and you have an energy that surrounds you, that loves you and wants you to grow, even though you're feeling very stranded, very, how the fuck did I get here? Maybe even a little ghosted by somebody. But just like, I don't know what to do next. I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how the situation got so fucked up. I don't know how I got here. I thought we were really going somewhere, you know? I thought this was a beautiful ship. This was supposed to be my beautiful adventure. And then here you are. So there's a little bit of immature energy here, that probably created the situation, if I'm being honest. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that's you or somebody else, but you know what? Everybody's immature a little bit, so just stretching here. Yeah, so you thought you were off on your grand adventure, and then now you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And you're frustrated. I think you feel a little entitled for things to have not gone awry, but honey, everything goes awry for everybody here. All right. Moonology deck. All right, Moonology. What do we have for Leos this week? What's a useful message for Leos this week? What does Leo need to hear this week? What does Leo need to hear this week? Okay, I'm going to take this one. Leo needs to hear, work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. That's so fascinating. Because, yeah, we just got full moon in Scorpio for someone else. So work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. So this is a new emotional journey. You're growing. It's a new emotional journey. And you might be really worried about how this is going to go, where this is going to go, how you feel, what's going to happen here. So really work with those. I got this card recently and I just kind of journaled out how I was afraid, all my different fears about the situation. We're going to take another card for you, just because that's what I'm feeling here. You know, I don't want to take that many cards, but we'll take this one that popped out the furthest. All right. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So, yeah, show the world the real you. Being very authentic. And this is the fullness of a situation. All right. Well, let's go to the Santa Muerte deck and see where this takes us. All right. I've already shuffled these. All right, what's our message for Leo this week? What are we doing for Leo this week? This is your past. Ooh, we got the deck upside down. This is your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? The environment, the to-do list, and your possible outcome. Okay. A little confusion here on what's going where and how it should be sitting down there. I'm gonna say, like, this whole vibe is a little confusing for me so far, and I think that's this stranded energy here of how the fuck did I get here? What the fuck am I looking at? We've got everything all over the map here. Yep, a little bit of everything for sure. Okay, in your recent past, you have this Three of Wands energy. This is growing, growing in through the darkness. So you have these seeds, they've been planted, they're very inspired, and they're moving towards the light, even though there is no fucking light. So you're just like, all right, I think it's going to be up there. We're going up there. We know we're going to eventually find something if we go that direction, which is actually pretty amazing and pretty miraculous. I don't know if you've ever been like swimming in a mountain lake in the middle of the night with no moon, but it can be really hard to figure out which direction the air is after you dive in. So this is very admirable. This is very amazing that you've followed your intuition and it is actually leading in the right direction. You don't know that yet, but your intuition is leading you in the right direction. There's a message here that needs to be delivered, virtue. So seems like your intentions here have been really pure. I'm seeing this very innocent vibe with the flower spirit too. So this is, you are growing and you're growing in the right direction, okay? You haven't been able to see that. You've been in the dark a little bit, but just trying to move forward. In your present situation, you have the Hierophant. So you're really trying to get in touch with your spirituality, connect with spirituality, connect with something here. You're looking for messages. You're in a protected area. You are receiving messages, possibly from your ancestors, possibly some guidance. You do have this guide here. So I think you're trying to get in touch with this angel guide here for some clarity. I think you started something and you headed in a certain direction in total darkness, and now you're starting to get a little freaked out. This is why we're working through our fears right now. But this is here to say that you are protected. You are here. You're trying to get messages. Maybe messages are trying to come to you. Maybe she's trying to give you a message that this intuitive start that's going totally in the dark here, keep going, I think is don't be afraid and keep going is the message that we're getting here. You're on the right track. So this... Anyway, yeah, you're very much, there's a very spiritual situation around here, very much seeking guidance, seeking spiritual guidance. You have it. It's available. It's here. Your messages are coming in. Yep, you're maybe trying to contact some ancestors. This could be an ancestor that's walking with you in this path, in the situation that you're in. Because I think what you did was you followed your intuition, and it's kind of led you to a spot you were not expecting to be. You thought, I'm following my intuition, this is going to be awesome, and now you're a little bit fucked. And you're looking for messages, looking for guidance, looking to contact somebody for what next and where you go next from here. You're afraid of where you've ended up, I think. In your inner landscape, you have this Eight of Pentacles. This is really holding on to what's yours. You've got what's yours, so you're like, okay, I've got this far. I'm holding. So this is a very holding energy. This is a grounded energy, and perhaps this contact has helped you ground a little bit and get a little more. Feeling a little more secure. You're definitely holding on to what's yours. You've earned it, what you have right now, and you're keeping it on. You're keeping something to yourself, really. You're definitely keeping something to yourself right now. You have resources, and you're holding on to them, and you're keeping something to yourself. Your inner landscape is about preserving what's yours and holding on and holding to this sort of treasure that you may have found through this contact or through this. This is definitely, though, you're holding on to something that's very valuable and precious to you. Could be your sanity. So this is your inner landscape, and you're holding on to something that you know has the potential to sustain you in the future. And you're keeping something to yourself a little bit here. What's at issue is the Chariot, but we take it reversed in this position. So it's not going forward, not moving forward. You wanted to go fast. You wanted to go fast. Oh my gosh, this is it. You wanted to go fast. You wanted to go someplace pretty cool. You had this whole vision of where you were going to take this ship. But instead, you are up here. You're stranded. You're stopped. Your chariot broke down in the middle of the race, in the middle of the battle, and you're having some broken downness here. And I think this is why you're needing to work through your fears, is because you're afraid you're never going to get going again, that you're never going to be able to get started again. You're never going to get back on track again. You're never going to get where you thought you were going. You're just I feel like you're having this real moment of crisis here of like, what am I doing? Where am I going? I started something. I don't know what the fuck to do now. What's the point of it all? So, now that things are stopped and aren't moving forward at all, you're having a lot of self-doubts about your capabilities and about if this journey's even worth it, where you're going. I mean, I think these are just fears, though. You're really having a lot of fears right now that are about your journey and about not being 100% sure this is what you should be doing, because it's led you to this weird place where you're like, but should I even have been a boat captain? I don't understand. This isn't working out the way I thought it would, and you took this real intuitive risk in the dark, in the night. You couldn't see where it was going to go, and now you're having kind of a typical, Joseph Campbell story arc crisis here. Okay, in your environment, you have the Knight of Swords. This is an actual person. This is having a lot of self-control, a lot of clear thinking. So this could be this guide, this mentor that's coming to help you, or this is an actual person in your environment who is very clear with their language, very clear with what they want. They're very careful communicator. This person's extremely careful and extremely clear. Look at that self-control in order to not harm themselves. Of course, this is a skeleton without any flesh, but I don't think that's the point. The point is that swallowing a sword is really hard work and takes a lot of self-control, self-confidence, clarity. You got to know what you're doing. So this Knight of Swords and the Knights are really good at what they're doing. So this is someone who's very intellectual, very smart, very clear, very self-controlled. So, and I think this is someone in your environment right now that you're interacting with. Oh God, your to-do list. I don't even know what to do with this one. Your to-do list is this Three of Swords. Jesus, really? It looks like you got to break somebody's heart. You might have to hurt somebody, or you might have to willingly allow yourself to be wounded and hurt this week. Or, for whatever timeline whenever you get this you're being called into a place where you need to experience pain or inflict pain on somebody else, which sucks. I don't know. I mean, being called into the energy of Three of Swords. This is your to-do list. This is to fuck up a party, to you're hanging out with your friends, and then you're like, okay, and now some fucking truth bombs that are going to hurt everybody. So maybe, the swords are truth and clarity of thought. So, and maybe you do have to I mean, how do you get out of this stranded place? I mean, maybe you're looking for messages, because the next step in this process of growth might actually, the thing that moves it forward out of this stagnancy and this holding pattern is probably going to be pretty painful, you know, and maybe you need to find someone to mentor you through this painful communication, these painful thoughts and ideas that you kind of need to face. This is a lot of facing your pain, and this is working through your fears in this new moon. This might actually be facing your fears. And having to just really directly dealing with a very painful situation and the pain that you're experiencing. And this might involve hurting somebody. And then I think this might have to do with clearly communicating something that might be very painful for somebody. And then what happens, where we go, is the sun. A lot of clarity. There's whole bottom row here of your environment, your to-do list, and the possible outcome, all are clarity. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily classify the sun as part of the swords, but except for it's got that clarity. But this is a delightful clarity. This is a clarity that brings growth. So maybe you need to just, you know, show the real you. I mean, that has a similar sun vibe of just this clarity, this growth, just being open, being honest. So maybe this like painful communication you need to have brings you to a place of openness and honesty and clarity where you can make music with somebody else. You can really, you know, your little band here. We follow this little band through the deck. They do a bunch of different crazy things. And here they're just jiving. They're having a good time. We got bluebirds singing. We've got sunshine. So, I mean, what's really cool here is that you end up in a pretty good spot, but you gotta bring in your honesty, even though it might be painful. And I don't think all honesty is painful. My experience of honesty is that half the time it's really awful, but it brings really good things. It clears the air. It brings in this clear blue sky, the sunshine, you know, even though you can go through some pain that may last a couple years. But also truth can be really beautiful and really freeing in other ways. You know, you can learn some truth about yourself that's actually very beautiful. But this is a painful, you're being called to do something fairly painful, and or to experience something very painful. Maybe you're being asked to like let this person speak and say the painful things, because you're clearly trapped here, you're stuck, the situation isn't moving forward, and it looks like the only way out is going to be a painful conversation. But it clears the air. And then here you are making music, singing songs with your buddies, and you feel trapped and stuck, but you really need to face your fears, work through those fears, and maybe actually like do something or have a bad conversation. But you need to sort of plan out. This could be this energy too, is like planning out your energy, you know, being very clear of your thoughts and what you're going to say and what you're thinking about something in a situation, and making sure you're not bringing in unnecessary fears into the situation. You know, we can often bring in our own insecurities and fears into conversations where we're feeling like we know exactly how the other person's going to react. And, you know, that makes us feel smart and whatever, but bringing that energy in actually can create more of a problem. So, so work through those fears about how you think this other person's going to respond, or this really does seem like some kind of relationship in your life where you're feeling a little stuck and it's a little fucked up and no one knows how it got there. And it looks like you're probably going to have an honest, show the real you, an honest communication that could be painful for both parties involved. So anyway, I hope that conversation goes really well for you. It looks like it's going to. It looks like you're going to end up someplace pretty cool. Okay, Leo? But definitely seek some guidance, get very spiritually grounded before you have a painful conversation with somebody, okay? So I hope you have a wonderful week, Leo. Thank you so much for your likes, your subscribes, your comments. I really appreciate them, and They help my channel and actually are very encouraging for me. So I appreciate it. Hope you have a good week.